Credit scores help lenders decide whether to approve loan applications and determine what loan terms to offer. The scores are generated by algorithms using information from your credit reports, which summarize your borrowing history. Today, we're going to be talking about credit score in detail. Please take a moment and click on the like button and click subscribe to stay connected. I have over 20 credit cards, and that's maybe the fewest cards I've had in a long time. I used to have over 30 credit cards. When I talk to people about this, the first question I always get is, wait, doesn't that ruin your credit? Your credit score must be horrible. And the reality is precisely the opposite. My credit score is nearly perfect. It's in the top percentile. And obviously that throws off many people for good reason, because we are taught from a young age that applying for credit cards is bad for us. In this video, let's look more closely at what goes into your credit score, why applying for cards is good for you, and how it works. Before I get too deep into this, I'd like to say that if you don't think you can use credit responsibly by paying off your balance each month, then this isn't for you. While travel rewards are great, it will not be worth it if you're paying substantial interest charges. 5 main factors go into your credit score. The first 35% of your credit score is your payment history. The second 30% of your credit score is your credit utilization. The third is 15% of your credit score being your credit age. Fourth is 10% of your credit score being the types of credit you use. Fifth is 10% of your credit score being your requests for new credit. Let's talk about how having different cards and how applying for additional cards impacts your score. Let's start with the bad news. Roughly 10% of your credit score comprises your credit inquiries, which are your requests for new credit. This means that you can expect your score to go down temporarily when you apply for a credit card by about 2 points or more. The good news is that the more cards you have, as counterintuitive as that may sound, the rest of your credit score will go up. Therefore, the single biggest thing that goes into your credit score is your payment history. Your payment history is 35% of your score. That means that if you make your payments on time, that's over a third of your credit. If anything, having more cards helps you demonstrate that you use credit responsibly. When you're making your payments on time by having more cards, you're showing a better payment history. Friends, I hope you are enjoying the video so far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you want to add more, comment below. Your thoughts mean a lot to us. Let's keep watching. The second biggest factor to your credit score is your credit utilization, making up about 30% of your credit. This is the area that is most positively impacted by having a lot of credit cards. The concept of credit utilization is that card issuers want you not to utilize too much of your credit. Typically, I recommend you don't use more than 30 to 40% of your credit. For example, say you have a credit card and it has a $10,000 credit line. If you spend $9,000 on that card every month, you're using 90% of your credit. To banks, this seems high risk because they're worried. Okay, is this person using almost all of their credit? If we extend them more credit, will they be able to pay it back? That shows that you are high risk. That's why you want to use no more than 30 to 40% of your credit. This is where the real positive impact is if you have a lot of cards. Okay, so I have more than 20 credit cards and over $15,000 in available credit across all of those cards. Of course, I don't spend nearly that much every month. I'm utilizing a tiny percentage of my available credit. I use about, let's say, 1% of my credit if I'm spending $150, and I have $15,000 in available credit. Credit card companies see this as excellent because I have so much credit, and I am choosing not to use all of it. This shows I am responsible, and believe it or not, this makes them more likely to extend me even more credit in the future. So your score can potentially skyrocket if you go from just having 1 card to having 4 cards, and you're spending the same amount because your utilization goes down by that much. The single biggest tip to having a great credit score is not using too much of your credit. And again, this all goes out the window if you're not making your payments on time. The next most significant factor in your credit score is the average age of accounts. What credit card issuers want to see is that you're using cards long term. This is where it makes sense to have a balanced strategy. I have many credit cards, some of them are new and some of them are old. What I do is I get no annual fee cards that I hold onto for a long time, that I've had for over a decade. And the reason I have them for that long is that it makes my average age of accounts older. The longer you show you're responsibly using your credit, the better position you're in, the higher your score will be. And the last 10% of your credit score is the types of credit you're using. I have a question for you. Do you have loans? Like a car loan or a home loan? Do you have credit cards you're using responsibly? It's good to have loans because it shows lenders that you can use them responsibly. It comes down to that 90% of your credit score is potentially improved by having more credit cards and using them responsibly. With these tips and the other 10% of your score, which is a small fraction, it goes down a little bit. So this is why so many of us who have dozens of cards have excellent credit scores. Because if we're using it responsibly, it shouldn't matter what else we're doing. As you can see, just having many cards and using them responsibly can be great for your credit score. This is proven to work. And it's the best way to earn miles because you can get a lot of cards that make you lots of points, and you can improve your credit score. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to ask any questions, let me know in the comments below. See you in the next video.